Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel Edmond Marchbanks. I am a mentor, I am an educator, a life coach, and a survivor. But more importantly, what I hope to be to you is an example of what life can be in spite of what it's been. For those of y'all who are new to my channel, I'd like to say welcome. And those who are returning, please know I am forever grateful for all of your love, your prayers, and support. If by chance y'all hear something that resonates with you or you feel might be helpful for someone else, please feel free to hit that like, share, and subscribe button so we can get this information out, grow the channel, and impact as many people as possible. So once again, I really want to thank you for sharing a few minutes of your day with me. And without any further ado, let's go higher with today's message. I had taken a road trip down to Birmingham, Alabama a while back to visit with a girlfriend of mine who was in the military with me. And as I was driving down there, and it seemed throughout my visit, and definitely on the way back, a thought kept coming to me. And that thought was, don't go back to Egypt. Don't go back to Egypt because there is nothing good for you in Egypt. If I'm going to be honest, I knew exactly what that message was about because at that time in my life, I was dealing with a situation that had me bound. It had me bound mentally, physically, spiritually, socially, financially, to the point that it seemed as if there was no forward movement and no growth in my life. It was as if God was trying to take this situation from me and I would pull it back. And he would say, no, daughter, give me that situation. And I would pull it back. So once I got home and settled down a little bit, I decided to go to the Bible and read a little bit about the story of the exodus of the children of Israel from their place of bondage, which was the land of Egypt. And real briefly, the children of Israel had been in bondage and slavery for centuries. The oppression became greater and greater to the point that they began to cry out the more, and God heard their cry. In the midst of all of this, God decides to send the deliverer Moses, along with his brother Aaron, to Pharaoh and declare, let my people go. As the story unfolds, we know that a lot of plagues and a lot of pestilence came upon the nation of Egypt. And so Pharaoh decides to really force the children of Israel out of this place of bondage. Something happened in their life that forced them to move from a place of bondage into the land of promise. When the Israelites left Egypt, they left suddenly. They knew something was coming. They knew there had been a promise, but when it actually came to it, they left in haste. One of the things that struck me as I read that story is, as the children of Israel left their place of bondage, left their place of lack, left their place of no movement, they left with abundance. They left with great wealth given to them by the oppressors. When they came out of that place of bondage, they came with knowledge, with peace, with joy from their oppressors, if you will. Okay? So we know, the children of Israel get to the Red Sea, and then from there the story unfolds even further. So as I begin to read that story, I begin to, as I often do, reflect on my own life. How does that apply to my own life? And as I begin to think about that, I was saying to myself, I'm coming out. I'm coming out of this place of bondage. And another thought came to me that said, you're not coming out. You're already out. You have already been freed from Egypt. So I began to think, if I'm free from Egypt, number one, why don't I realize I'm free? And even with that knowledge, why won't I leave this place of bondage? Why is there still an affinity in me for this place of bondage, for whatever it is that has me stuck? I want you to take a few minutes and think about that and reflect in your own life. What is, because I know we all have something. What is it going on in your own life that has you stuck, that you can't get free from? Okay. I continue to think about that. And in my life, what I realized is, among other things, for one, even though it was a dysfunctional place and it was a very painful place, I had been in it so long, believe it or not, it felt safe. Even though I know it's a place of dysfunction, it's not the best for me. It's not what God wants for me. It's not even what I want for myself. But there was somehow a sense of safety in this place of bondage. Another thing that came to me with the way I was possibly looking at my life, if you will, is I was afraid. I was afraid to step out of this place that had me bound into an unknown. I know there's promise over there. I know there's good and wealth over there, but I am the one who has to make a decision, to make a change, to get things in order, to reposition myself here in the earth. And I was scared. I was scared, and it cost me. It cost me dearly. So what I'd like for you to do with this message is really think about what's going on in your life. I don't know what your Egypt is, but I know we all have one. Your Egypt might be your family. It may be your relationships. It may be your job. It may be the internal turmoil that's going on in your body that no one knows about. That stinking thinking, that critical thought process that's going on in your own head that no one knows about. What I do know is that is not the best that God has for you. That I know. What I do know is there is a place of promise, a place of peace, a place of joy, a place of clarity of mind that is available to you, even though you have come out of this bondage. In fact, what I've learned is God can take those stones of bondage and turn them in, if you will, to precious jewels. So when you come into this place of promise, you come with abundance. You come with abundance. So I'd like for you, as I was saying, to just take some time throughout your day, whenever you look at this video again and think about what I'm sharing with you, and think about whatever it is that's going on in your life. And what I would like to leave with you is the same thought that came to me. Don't go back to Egypt. Don't go back to Egypt, because there is nothing good for you in Egypt. Thank you.